Greetings and welcome to Maple Leaf America from Detroit, the Motor City, hockey town, directly across the Detroit River from Windsor, Ontario. Almost exactly 2 years since our previous visit to this fine hockey city. Wonderful stories and interviews for you this week. We'll talk to a three-time Stanley Cup winner who now works for the Red Wings. Our cameraman Tommy will have a octopus on his head. We'll explain that later. We'll talk to a two-time Cup winner who now works for the Red Wings. And we're going to visit Hades. Yeah, that's right. We're going to hell on this edition of Maple Leaf America. Welcome back to Maple Leaf America in downtown Detroit, Motor City, home of the Detroit Red Wings and the Joe Louis Arena. Named after the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, boxing dominator from 1934 to 1951, champion of the world. Hey, don't forget, sometime during the show, this patch will show up, the Team Farrier patch, our sponsor. See if you can spot it, and we'll tell you where it was at the end of the show. Now, speaking of Joe Louis, in that arena, there's a hardworking video coordinator on the Red Wings coaching staff, a multi-Stanley Cup winner. His name's Mike Krushelnyski, and we're going to meet him right now.
Puts it in on goal. Down, it's Krushelnyski.
No matter how you define old-time hockey, Mike Krushelnyski's attitude fits the description.
I was lucky enough to break in with the old breed. You know, Terry O'Reilly, Wayne Cashman, Jerry Cheevers, Brad Park, and there was an aura about them, and there was such a respect factor that I don't think there is in the game today. So fortunately, I was able to see that, and I remember Peter McNabb coming over to me, and I was basically brought in to take this guy's job. And I'm like, Maxie, I said, I don't get it. They bring me in to take your job, and yet you're helping me. And he goes, one day it'll be your turn, kid. You have to help somebody else. And I'm like, wow, it really hit me. And yet, 15, 20 years later down the road, I found myself helping out the younger players, and I think we just like to be involved in the game. And that's what, maybe that's why I want to be part of the coaching staff.
Krusher, or Cruiser, as he's been called, is the video coach coordinator for the Red Wings, the team with which he ended his playing career in 1995.
We all seem to pick up something a little different. Once you try to group it together, it's whatever you can, whatever we can do to add to find some sort of deficiency of theirs, or something to pick them apart where we see a weakness, where we can exploit. That's what we'll try to do. This is what I bring on the road with me, 2 VCRs. Yeah. So then we hook up the machines to the 2 VCRs, and I plug it into the monitor, and then we can tape off the hard drive, our game, or here I kind of cheated. Our upcoming opponents, I've got their two previous games that we'll watch and scout and try to break it down and find something.
He won a cup as an assistant coach with the Wings in '97 after winning cups on ice with Gretzky and the boys in Edmonton during the '80s.
My first cup was the ultimate. I couldn't believe it. I got on TV and I'm like, this is flipping great. And I'm like, oh, cut, let's rerun that. And he was like, sorry, son, we're live. This is across Canada. And I'm like, the next day I apologized to the owner. He goes, don't worry, son, it came from your heart. And that's what it was all about. It was just so exciting as a player because you're part of a group of players that, you train all summer for, you go through training camp, and you go through all those bumps and bruises through the course of the year. The stitches, getting your face rearranged, and everything else, knees, shoulders, wrists, and just to be part of it is it's the ultimate.
After 3 cups and 4 seasons with the Oilers, Krushelnyski was shipped to LA in hockey's ultimate trade with Marty McSorley and, oh yeah, the great one.
Well, Marty and I have different versions of that trade. There was the 5 first-round draft picks, which went for Gretz, Jelena for Marty McSorley, and I was the guy that went for the $15 million. So we just had to clarify that. Yeah, okay. When we first got wind of it, first thing you do is you look at the lineup, and all of a sudden there's Bernie Nichols, and we're going down the roster, and then John Tonelli came into the picture, Barry Beck, Larry Robinson. I mean, we're starting to. It was like, we're only like 1 or 2 players away from doing some damage.
Krusher found individual and team success everywhere he went, a testament to his team play. LA became solid with his help, and after a 1990 trade to the Leafs, Toronto became a threat with his assistance.
Yeah, I had good luck on my side. You know, and then my last year here as a player, unfortunately I was just so old and beat up with my back. L4, 5, and S1, they went out on me, and I think if I would have known that, I just would have, you know, walked away, but it's hard to walk away from the game.
Despite growing up in Quebec, Krusher didn't lack respect for Toronto's history, tradition, and its building.
When I first walked in there, it was like a historical monument to me. I don't know if it helped or hurt us now that I think of it, because when you came to Toronto, you know you were on Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday you were the prime game on TV, and everybody came, they were ready to play. The A game was always brought in Toronto.
Krushelnyski has always brought his A game. It's evident in his speech and actions, his love and respect for the game. Old school, new breed. Intense on, gracious off. Old-time hockey. Well, I'm not sure if Krusher, in his years in Detroit, or maybe when he was with Toronto visiting Detroit, ever got to see an octopi hit the ice. He probably did. It's an old tradition, one of the more unusual in hockey and in all of sports. It started in 1952 during the playoffs. After 4 games, the fan threw an octopus on the ice. 8 legs, 8 victories back in those days to win the Stanley Cup. Tradition's still alive today. The place to learn about octopus and to buy one, Superior Fish in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Welcome to Superior Fish.
Hey, how are you?
Kevin Dean,
Good to see you.
the official octopi supply store.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for. And matter of fact, we're a little wigged out because we just don't know what to expect completely here. We're going to experience the octopus firsthand. Get to know it.
Get to know it, become the octopi.
Become one with the octopi. We have the octocat. What does that mean?
Octocat is the proper etiquette for propelling a cephalopod onto the ice prescribed by Superior Fish. Basically, there's 3 rules. The number 1 is the boiling of the octopus. That'll remove any excess moisture or slime. Yep. So when the octopus hits the ice, they can easily pick it up. It won't stick like a plunger.
I gotcha.
Number 2, when to throw it. The only time that we say to throw it and suggest to throw it was immediately after a Red Wing goal. Never during the national anthem or during other times during the play. And number 3, the placement. The throwing of the octopus, to throw it away from any and all personnel and players on the ice so no one gets hit on the side of the head.
Very good octocat. And of course, for people actually wanting to eat it, we have the Superior Fish Savor the Flavor of Hockey Tradition.
There you go. We octopus chili, octopus salad, peppered octopus, smoked octopus, octopus dip.
You sounded like Forrest Gump there for a second. You're doing the octopus octopus salad, octopus soup.
Besides eating octopus, you can also play with octopus. We have octopus puppets, we have octopus ring toss games, we have octopus wear, we have octopus shirts, octopus socks.
Kevin, it's time to find the actual octopus. I think.
All right.
We got
in search of
striped bass. We got whitefish.
Canadian whitefish, parrotfish from Hawaii.
Really noisy.
We have butterfish.
Eel looks good.
Excellent.
Haddock. Love the grouper. They're not as big as
a Florida favorite. Yeah. Porgies.
Hey, there he is. What is that thing? That's our boy. Kevin, the big question is, what other uses are there for an octopus?
It's left up to your imagination.
Beep, 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 beep. Flight 619 coming in from Denver. Rasta man, come to Jamaica, man. Come to Jamaica.
You talk about multitasking. This would be the perfect employee in the office, in the fast food restaurant. You can answer the phones, work the computer, flip the burgers, take the change, clean the garbage.
Massage the boss.
Well, that's not accepted here at Superior Fish.
You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful, Brittany. But of course, the number 1 use for an octopus is to throw it on the ice during the playoffs here at the Joe Louis Arena. Al Sabatka, huh?
How are you?
Working for the Wings for
32 years.
32 years, since the days of the Olympia. And you have kind of become...
They call me Al the Octopus now. You know, they named the big purple octopus after me.
Yep.
And I was pretty honored about that, you know.
That's great. You like this one, you said?
10 years since I started this little tradition of
waving the octopus.
waving them over my head, you know,
cool.
like. Oh, I'm sorry, Ricky.
Now, you like this particular
I like this particular size.
brand?
The tentacles are nice and small, and they really come out good. And it's about the right size to get a nice twirl going out of it.
Good stuff. We'll hold this. Here, wave goodbye with it. Because we're going to a little timeout here. Bye-bye. Hey, you know where we're going when we come back? We're going to hell.
Are we? Why?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. Why? Well, I just know that's where we're going. And we're not going in a handbasket.
No.
We're going in a rental car.
Okay.
Tom Downer, Peterborough, Ontario. All-time favorite Leaf is Wendell Clark. And I'd like to say hi to the boys back in Peterborough. Hope they're having a good time.
How you doing? I'm Don Gemmell from London, Ontario. My all-time Leaf favorite, Davy Keon. Want to say hi to my mom in London.
Hi, I'm Joanne from Detroit. Have you seen the patch yet? You missed it. You'll see it at the end of the show. We'll be right back.
I've lost track the number of times people have told me to go to hell. As a matter of fact, just last night, a couple of people. Anyway, I finally decided to take them up on it. And I'm on Patterson Lake Road here heading west into hell. And we're going to find out exactly what it's really like for this week's travelogue. Well, it's finally happened. I'm officially in hell. And I've got my friend Bill here. You live in hell.
I live in hell.
You do? How's that going?
It's going just fine.
You want to give us a tour?
I can give you a little bit of a tour. It won't take very long. The ice cream shop over here. And then you have the party store up here.
Yep.
Next to that. And you got Handyman Jerry's over here.
Yep.
Across the street.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's this behind us?
It's the Dam Site Inn.
Yep.
It's kind of a neighborhood get-together place. Family dining and spirits.
How long have you been coming to hell?
I've been coming to hell for about 42 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You know the place pretty well.
Yep, I live right down the road here, about 4 miles.
What's the best part about hell?
Just being hell, you can do what you want.
So hell's really not that bad.
No. Everybody has a good time.
Can we shit on television?
Sure we can.
Well, let's do some cussing. Let's go around the room and get everybody to cuss a little bit for us. Is there a mayor of hell?
There is a mayor of hell. He's not here right now.
Yeah, he's serving time?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
You're the waitress from hell?
Yes, I am. The waitress from hell.
What's your name?
Liz Sahotsky.
Say it again?
Liz Sahotsky.
Can you spell that for us?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sahutsky.
Must have been hell growing up.
It was.
What does it mean being the waitress from hell? Are you really mean to customers?
No, actually, I'm pretty nice to them. We just don't make any apologies if we're out of food or if we're out of ice.
How much does property go for in hell?
Boy, that's a hell of a question. I'd say to buy a lot, just a vacant lot on this lake right now would probably be $60,000 to $80,000 if you could find one.
Hey, if hell is this nice, people would be lining up to go there. I thought hell was going to be a lot meaner, nastier than it actually is.
Well, we come here at the right time, and yeah, Halloween especially. All the ghoulies come out then. Christmas, we are a little bit more laid back.
Who's the smart ass who named this place hell?
Well, I don't remember his name.
Right, but he just did it for fun?
Yeah.
Check this out. Our camera guy, see the microphone I'm using? Look at this thing. Have you ever seen anything like this in your life? Look at it. Look at that. What is this?
What kind of rig is that?
Well, you know, there's some mics you clip on like this, right? We have those, but that's kind of stupid. I'd have to go like this and hold it like this. And then we have the ones that are like a stick mic and it says Leafs TV on it, but we forgot that because, you know, well, we're in hell, so things go wrong.
It looks like hell.
And now it does look like hell. So this is our microphone in hell. Microphone from hell. Good job, Tom. Everything, literally everything is a joke when you're standing in hell outside the damn bar. No, their favorite hockey team is not the Devils. Happy February from hell. We'll be right back with a local Detroit legend after this timeout.
I am from London, Ontario. My favorite Leaf is Darcy Tucker. I'm 41 today. Woo! And hi, Mom and Dad. I know you're proud of me.
What's your name?
My name's Billy.
My name's Kerry Lazenby. I live in Owasso, Michigan, originally from Oshawa, Ontario.
My favorite Leaf is Tiger Williams. I'm a big Leaf fan. Go Leafs, go! Down here in Michigan supporting our team, even in the Wings game. Go Leafs, go!
Welcome back to Maple Leaf America. This huge industrial complex belongs to the Ford Motor Company. It's the Michigan truck plant. Of course, it's Motor City. There's a lot of this around. General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, all that good stuff. I got some relatives and friends that work for Ford. If you have any friends that work for Ford, you always want to say, hey, how's things going over there at Ford's? Hey, you work at Ford's? They hate that. Anyway, whether you're an engineer or you're working on the assembly line here in Detroit, you're a hockey fan, and chances are you're also a fan of local hockey and TV legend Mickey Redmond. To the latest generation of hockey fans, Mickey Redmond is known as the colorful commentator of the Detroit Red Wings TV games. Some of his more peculiar and humorous insights have come to be known as Mickeyisms.
BC two-hander. That's when the opponent gets a taste of the other hockey stick, either Sherwood or the new graphite stick, carbon graphite stick.
I like it when someone dukes somebody and he leaves his jockstrap on the score clock on the way out.
Katie bar the door means it's all you can get. You know, that's they're on a breakaway, nobody left to cover home base, and just usually it's a one-on-one against a goaltender, and it's Katie bar the door, all you can get.
I guess the definition of a Mickeyism would be whatever comes to my mind at a certain time in a game. There's no rhyme or reason for them. They're not pre-planned, they're not prearranged, they're not preconceived. They just arrive.
To an older generation of Red Wings fans, Mickey Redmond represents prolific scoring and non-playoff frustration.
We did not make the playoffs for 6 years. It was unfortunate, but I think the players first and foremost know what's going on with coaching, managing, and ownership. And we were not well prepared in those days. The LHs have come in here and just provided a first-class operation, an organization for people to work under. The private aircraft, I mean, just the whole thing from top to bottom. They've hired the right people. They got quality people from, in every stage of the things. They're drafting well. They're doing things that this organization didn't do well for a lot of years, and as a result was not making the playoffs and put many years behind. So, I mean, they just opened it up and said go to it, and look at the success they've had. The last 12 years especially have been nothing short of spectacular and very entertaining on a daily basis, which is wonderful.
For many local fans, Redmond's 1973 season was an important benchmark. He lit the lamp 52 times, the first Red Wing ever to break the magic 50 mark.
It's not a big thing for me to say I was the first one to do it. I guess many years later, people talk about it. That's nice, because as a hockey player, all you have is what you did and what you were and how you acted going through it all, and that kind of legacy that you leave. So yes, it's nice to have that, but you're right, the Cups are number one, and I think all of us would trade offense for team success any day of the week.
Stanley Cup wins came during the first 2 years of Mickey's career in Montreal.
You know, it's interesting, you go back, we weren't even drafted in those days. We signed the old C form for $200, and I played with the Peterborough Petes, and they were one of two, the Junior Canadians, the other team that Montreal sponsored at the time. And it really, when I look back, we couldn't have been any more fortunate. Danny Grant and I made the Montreal team in 1967. I don't believe the Canadians had a new face on their team for 5 years. And to be able to play with people like Jean Beliveau and the Pocket Rocket, John Ferguson, who's in the building tonight and on most nights with San Jose now, Jill Tremblay, J.C. Tremblay, Laperriere, Savard, on and on and on, Harper, Harris, Gump Worsley. It was a great experience for me. And what an experience it was for really my whole family, because my mom and dad only got to Montreal one time. My dad had played around the world, played in the Quebec League, and he played with Big John Beliveau. And my mom and dad came down to Montreal one time. Big John saw my dad after the game, walked in the dressing room, and he said, I think maybe I'm getting old. I play with the father, now I play with the son. Well, I did. When I got traded here, it was for Frank Mahovlich and with Billy Collins and Guy Chiron. And Gordie Howe was still here for about half a season. It was January 3rd when I got traded here. And so I got to play with Gordie for a half year. He retired for the first time after that season. Alex Delvecchio, of course, was still here and was my center the next year. So, you know, you talk about having Belleville, Pocket Rocket Richard, and then to have Alex Del Vecchio, boy, as a winger, it's a dream to have guys like that as your centerman. So, yeah, Gary Bergman, who's since left us, some great hockey players and great gentlemen of the game as well.
A back injury and surgery in 1976 ended Redmond's career at age 27. A flourishing future on ice cut short. The physical challenges continue today.
I have celiac disease, which is an intolerance to gluten, which is in wheat, rye, oats, barley, and many related products. And what I have to do most of the time is take a skillet, a toaster, and all the foods I carry with me in a bag, and when we go on the road, and cook in my hotel room and make do with what I can. I cannot eat in a restaurant, basically. And so it gets somewhat complex and cumbersome, but I've got it down pretty well now. I've been doing it for about 8 years, and as long as I stay closer to a fridge and a stove, I'm a happier guy. But that's one of the reasons I've cut back on the long 9-day road trips that the team has now. So I've been lucky to be able to do that.
Redmond played junior hockey in Toronto in the late 60s. And even though he works in a city that has adopted the nickname Hockey Town, he suggests Toronto remains the center of the hockey world.
Great thoughts about Toronto. When I was playing junior, we used to play the double headers in Maple Leaf Gardens on Sunday afternoon, rock and roll music. Loved it. Memories that I'll never forget. Mom and Dad could come and watch the games, being in Peterborough. They'd put 16,000 people in that building for those double headers. Great fun. And of course, when we got into the NHL, Toronto-Montreal, what a great rivalry that was with Imlach and Toe Blake and all the greats on both sides, the veteran players. And then with Detroit, when you'd go in there, again, my parents and a lot of other guys' parents could get in, being in that part of the world, to watch the games. And until I think we all felt that Toronto, and still do, is the center of attention when it comes to the hockey world, which is wonderful.
His most accurate Mickeyism of all. Well, Mickey Redmond and the rest of the hockey supporters here in Detroit have obviously enjoyed some success over the last decade or two. The rest of the commerce in town is a little different than what you'd see at the Joe Louis Arena. And of course, beyond the transaction here, we have Ford Field. I know it's the second time we've mentioned Ford in the show. They're not a sponsor. Team Furrier is a sponsor. Did you spot the patch? It was in the seafood at Superior Fish in Royal Oak, Michigan. By the way, the Detroit Lions play at Ford Field. They're awful. They set an NFL record this past season for 24 consecutive road losses. And counting, by the way. We'll see you next week for a special edition of Maple Leaf America.